Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today with a Bethesda Game Studios discussion video. Today, once again, we will be speculating about the future of Bethesda Game Studios and talking about the two major projects that are likely coming before Elder Scrolls 6. I discussed a lot of Elder Scrolls 6 yesterday, and today I wanted to talk about what is most likely coming before then, and talking about the when rather than the what. We've discussed the what of what these new IPs could be, and honestly, any shot in the dark could be a close guess, or it could be one completely off. There isn't really any evidence supporting what a new IP could be for Bethesda Game Studios. A lot of people used to speculate, oh, the Void engine, that's something that Bethesda's been creating, but it's actually the engine that Dishonored 2 is using, so that rumor has been stomped into the dust. So really, we have nothing whatsoever to go off of other than little dribbles of rumors that Bethesda's doing something maybe in space. That's all I've ever really heard, but I don't even think it was Bethesda Game Studios. I believe it was a published game that ended up actually being Prey. So nonetheless, let's go on into today's discussion talking about when we could see these major projects. So I have one wild guess and then one, I'd say, more accurate guess. I feel like the first major project, whatever it will be, if it is a new IP, it'll likely be announced at next year's E3. And the reason I say that is because I know Todd Howard said he does like to keep the announcement and the release of the game as short as possible. And I do get that, and I trust in the team at Bethesda Game Studios that they will be bringing us something exciting and awesome. But with that said, it's not as familiar of a brand as a Fallout or an Elder Scrolls, and I know that new IPs can catch fire real fast, and it will not be a problem for Bethesda Game Studios if the game is awesome to get that hype, to get that attention. But I also wonder if they're going to announce it and then maybe have like a year-long, an 8-month-long marketing campaign because it's a new IP. And so that leads us into 2018, spring 2018. I wouldn't say that's too far-fetched of an idea if Bethesda Game Studios was to come out on E3 2017 show floor and say, hey, this is the next game we're bringing to you guys, and it's going to be coming out next year. Something along those lines, giving a specific release date like a January or a February, March kind of release date, and having it announced in June. I think for a new IP, that's not too far-fetched. But the question remains is that a lot of people are assuming, well, what if it's a Fallout spinoff? What if it's a Elder Scrolls spinoff? For example, a lot of people have been suggesting the idea of a Fallout Boneyard, even though Bethesda Game Studios likes to make the East Coast Bethesda games. I know that maybe it would be a good idea to kind of return to the series roots in a way and go to the Boneyard. I think that would be kind of cool, but I don't think it's going to be anything that they've worked on in the past. And that's what's really exciting about this right now, is because Bethesda is actually taking an opportunity to try something new. And what that new could be, who knows? It could be a spin on one of our favorite franchises. It could be even another property of someone else's. We did have that one time where Bethesda Game Studios was actually going to work on a Game of Thrones RPG. Could it be possible that that deal was resurrected? Could it be possible that Bethesda Game Studios working on a Star Wars game? You get what I'm saying? See how ridiculous that sounds now, but imagine if I was correct. You get what I'm saying, where any shot in the dark could be correct about if this is a new IP or they're working on any type of property. There's nothing really supporting it. We just have a lot of cool ideas out there. But for what I think we can definitely bank on is a new IP of some form in one of these two projects. And when we'll see it, I'd imagine an announcement next year. I could be entirely wrong on that. In fact, I most likely am, because I feel like that might be a little too soon after Fallout 4. But if the Fallout 4 DLC is really stopping this year, that's going to leave Bethesda Game Studios idle for a while, and we know that an idle BGS is not a good one because of the fact that then there's too much speculation, hype gets built up, there's so much anticipation, it gets announced, people get excited, and then we have a repeat of what happened with Fallout 4, which is an awkward but yet beneficial position to be in when you're Bethesda Game Studios. You have people really excited for your games, but perhaps sometimes too excited to their own detriment. So for me personally, I'd imagine we see something in 2017, right around E3, maybe right beforehand, a little teaser like they did with Fallout 4. But if it's a new IP, I think it would also be a good surprise to just have Todd Howard show up on stage, because Pete did say that he didn't have Todd on stage because they would have expected him to announce something. And so I'd imagine if we see him walk out on stage, then we're actually going to see something brand new, which is always super exciting. So that's something, just a little sign we have to keep our eye out for when he walks on the stage. Something big's going to happen at the Bethesda E3 conference. And mind you, I'm actually jumping the gun a little bit now that I think about it, because there's always the chance that they're not even doing an E3 2017 press conference. I'd imagine they are. You have Quake, you're going to have Prey, Wolfenstein the New Colossus, which was teased, also The Evil Within 2, or whatever the sequel for The Evil Within will be called. So they do have a lot on their plate where they can put out another E3 showcase, but that's not a guarantee yet. You don't want to jump the gun too far ahead. But nonetheless, I just wanted to talk about what these major projects could be, when we could maybe see them, because I feel this is an important discussion for us to have, because Man, it's actually really exciting to hear that we might be getting something other than Fallout and Elder Scrolls. Don't get me wrong, love both those series. They're my babies, but I would enjoy seeing something new from them. It's always cool to see the games industry try something new, and I think that's something we should encourage, not discourage. So I'd love to get your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Other than that, be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. The links are in the description. Check out sugarbomb.com, the place by Bethesda fans for Bethesda fans. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.